What's up, boys and girls, and welcome back to another Black Desert online video. I've been seeing a lot of topics, questions, and discussions about Black Desert's endgame. It seems the primary question is there actually any endgame? And if the answer is yes, then the next question is, what is the endgame? So, to help you understand what you do for endgame, I thought I'd make a video explaining some of the cool stuff you can do. So, the short answer is yes, there is endgame. A lot of endgame. In fact, there's probably so much of it that you'll have a problem deciding on what to do first. Most people playing this game have come over from other MMOs and ask if there are any dungeons or raids, and as soon as I tell them that there's not any, except for the desert dungeon, but we don't have that yet, so don't worry about that, people immediately lose their shit and start screaming to the world that there is no endgame. But I've always failed to understand why the only form of endgame that anyone cares about are dungeons and raids. They're pretty linear and boring most of the time for myself. The second thing is that a lot of people get commonly mistaken is that there's only PvP endgame. Apparently, all you do is guild sieges and node wars, which is really not right at all. Yes, they are two large parts of the game, and this is something that a lot of your endgame content will be working towards, but by no means is that all that you can do. I know a fair few people that don't even take part in these guild activities, and they're still playing the game every day, nearly a year on. So, let's go over some of the things that you can do in order to keep yourself entertained at endgame. So, although there are not dungeons or raids in this game, there are a few world bosses, and these are on spawn timers. When they spawn, a world notification will pop up on screen, and everyone will converge on that spawn location. For example, the world boss Zaka spawns in Serendia Temple. Once enough people are there, they will engage the boss and begin killing it. This boss has a lot of HP, so he can take a while to kill, especially when people have bad gear. You don't have to be in a group to get loot, just be there for the kill and attack the boss. It's a fairly simple fight in which you need to dodge his sweeping arm attacks, and when dark clouds start gathering around him, you need to run behind a pillar or you will get one shot. Once he's dead, you will get loot, which can be anything from silver and a black stone, all the way to very rare boss weapons worth 30 plus million silver. Not bad for 15 minutes work, eh? There are also other types of bosses in this game, like scroll bosses and guild bosses. You can get these scrolls by doing Black Spirit daily quests. You can get one boss scroll a day from this, and if you get a group of 5 of you, all with your own scrolls, then you can kill 5 boss scrolls each day. On top of that, you can also purchase scrolls via the loyalty store, and get a weekly boss scroll from the Black Spirit with another quest. The weekly bosses are significantly harder than the daily scrolls, so be sure to get a group together as they can also give better loot. If you're in a guild, then your guild leader or an officer can also summon a boss which can be killed by all members of the guild. This boss drops some really nice loot and should be done at every opportunity you have. Try and get as many guildies involved as possible, as this will really help you to speed up the gearing process and help you push towards that endgame dream. Something else to do in endgame is obviously grinding. Now, a lot of people don't really view grinding as endgame content, but it's a fairly crucial part of this game, and if you don't do it, you're going to be putting yourself at a disadvantage. The reason you need to grind in this game is because not only does it make you a lot of silver, it also gives you XP to level up, awards combat skill points to learn more abilities, and on top of all that, you can get drops like black stones to upgrade your weapons or armor. There are plenty of grind spots to choose from, so please don't be disheartened if Catfish or Mansa Forest are full. Do a little research or go exploring and you'll be able to find some pretty great areas. If, like me, you get a little bit bored of AoE grinding, then you could always try and grind for some rare item drops from mobs like ogres, cyclops, or even grind for the Witch's Earring at the Witch's Chapel. All of these mobs drop very powerful items which can give you a good boost towards high level gear, or it can make you a lot of silver by selling them on the marketplace. However, I feel like I should warn you that this seems to cause the highest amount of PKing in the game I've experienced so far. If you're trying to grind something like ogres, chances are someone is going to want to grind them as well, and seeing as there are limited spawns for this, be prepared to get killed or fight for the grind spot. So far, this game seems like an absolute slaughterhouse. Kill this, kill that, genocide this race of creatures, but you don't have to constantly kill things for endgame fun. If you enjoy crafting in games, then you'll probably love the crafting system in Black Desert. It's unique compared to any other game I've played so far, as it requires work from both yourself and your NPC workers. Certain things you aren't able to craft yourself. These can be completed by allowing your workers to build them for you. Things like boats and cannons require multiple work orders from many workers in order to complete, and the sense of reward at the end of it is amazing. The most common thing that people know about the endgame in BDO is the guild sieges and node wars. Now, although I have yet to try either of these, this is the thing that I am most looking forward to on NA EU launch. A basic explanation of this is that there is a castle which needs to be sieged in order to take control of it. The defending guild has to try and fight off the attackers and destroy their respawn camps, whilst the attacking guilds have to break down the gates, storm the castle, and destroy the defending guild's camp. Once this is done, the winners will become the owners of that castle. Guild sieges take place every Saturday, and the owners take a percentage cut of all the trading that goes on in that region. This is a way for guilds to make a lot of money, which is why they are so sought after. Castle sieges are for the high-end PvP guilds which want to try and dominate the server, but if that doesn't sound like something that your guild would be up for participating in, then you can try out the node wars. These are similar in the sense that you must kill the other guild's tower in order to win the node. Guilds can only have castle or nodes, you can't own both, so this system allows the smaller guilds to still enjoy the PvP system and get a cut of some of that sweet trading money. I'm looking forward to seeing how well my PC handles hundreds of people trying to attack and kill each other. My prediction is I'm going to be able to fry a steak on my GPU by the end of it all. And it will probably shorten my PC's life by about 5 years. But hey, it's gonna be madness. Another cool thing about the sieges is that you can craft or purchase siege weapons, like cannons, traps, and defense turrets. This adds even more depth to the castle wars, as these cannons do pretty high AoE damage and rip apart the castle's portcullises much faster than your swords ever would. Traps can be placed around your camp to slow and snare the enemy attackers, and then the defense turrets will blast away any enemies that try to come near it. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, and I really cannot wait. So, this still isn't enough PvP content for you, huh? Well then, you should definitely try out the Crimson Battlefield. You can queue up through the game's menu, and it will take you to a faraway island so that you can slaughter each other in a fairer setting than the open world. Teams will be able to kill each other and collect points for each kill. As players get on a killing spree, they become worth more and should be focused down to help your team claw back into the lead. The one negative thing I will say about this battleground is that it is very gear dependent. If you aren't well geared, then you're probably gonna have a bad time. I'm really hoping that one day they normalize gear in arenas and battlegrounds so that everyone can have a good, fair fight. But who knows when and if that will actually happen. Something that you should always be sure to do are the Black Spirit daily quests. These are normally quests like kill 100 Manchas or kill 100 Giants. Quick and easy quests which reward seals that can be turned into vendors to reward you with black stones. Armor stones cost 2 seals and the weapon ones cost 3 seals. This should take you no longer than 30 minutes to do each day, including traveling time. So it's definitely worth it, and you could even continue grinding there after you finish your quest killing things, which means you're getting 2 birds with 1 stone. The last thing I wanted to mention is the housing system, because some people really like it. You can purchase your own residence in this game and then decorate the inside with things like tables, trophies, beds, and much more. This doesn't particularly tickle my interest as I'm not into that kind of thing. If I wanted to do something like this, I'd probably just play The Sims or something. Although I must admit that seeing some of these tricked out houses is pretty cool. Some of them should apply for MTV Cribs or some shit. Like seriously, you can actually purchase maids off of the cash shop which stand in your house all day just waiting for you to pop in and say hi. To say it's a little bit creepy feels like a bit of an understatement for me. There are some good buffs from this though. If you lay on the bed, you recover energy faster, and sitting on a chair can give you buffs like increased gathering. I'm not really sure how that works, but hey, a buff is a buff. So, that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you found it helpful and informative. Now, when people ask you, hey, is there any endgame in Black Desert? You can tell them, yes, there is, and tell them all about the cool things that you can do. Also, there is going to be plenty of new content updates being released over time, which will bring things out like the desert, the Dragon World boss, 3v3 arenas, and of course, more quests. I really do feel like this game has the potential to keep its player base entertained for a very long time if they play their cards right. It's been a long time since I've been this hyped for an MMO and that I've enjoyed so much, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't let us down, but so far, people seem to love it, which is a really good sign. If you guys have enjoyed this video, then please do like and subscribe for more content. Until next time guys, take it easy and peace out.